Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Did you go and listen to the song from yesterday? That was part of the homework. Yesterday's silly song was Dumb Ways to Die. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, you can always go back and listen to yesterday's broadcast. What am I talking about? Well, this is Coffee and Headlines, where all kinds of unexpected things can happen, my dear friends. And yesterday was day 2 of our week-long series of weird songs. What has that got to do with Puerto Vallarta? Nothing, but one thing. It keeps us in good spirits and it keeps us smiling, hopefully. And that's what we do here. So that was, oh my God, what a strange welcome I've given you today. I'm sorry about that. I just can't stop singing that silly song. Whoosh! Good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get-together live here on Facebook. 7 days a week, 10:30 in the morning, where we examine news, headlines, comments, topics, and suggestions, and all kinds of information that helps us keep a smile in our faces, on our faces, in our faces. Keep us smiling and enjoying our surroundings. Our surroundings being Puerto Vallarta. We are a bunch of English-speaking locals. We are also in the company of a few folks that are tourists, a few folks that are voyagers, travelers, people that are curious about how we live, how we work, how we eat, how we think, how we feel, what our values are, what do we do late at night when all the tourists have gone to bed or are still partying. That's what we talk about here. And if this is your first time here, my name is Paco. And I don't know why I'm in such a silly mood today. It must be because it's hump day. My name is Paco. Please let us know that you're new, and let us know that you're new by writing the word new in your comments and suggestions. That way we will give you a proper welcome. And is Luna hungover? Oh, mi vida. Are you hungover, sweetie? Are you hungover? No, Luna says she is just chilling. She's tired from the walk yesterday. She had to do a lot of work yesterday. We went on a walk. As I told you, right after the broadcast, I decided to go into town looking for the new kid on the block. And I found the new kid on the block. He's sexy, but he has no package. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to wait for the video walk for this morning. But before we go there, let me take a quick look at who's here. It's always great to say hello to people. Alan, ¿qué pedo, güey? ¿Cómo estás? How are you doing today? Anaheim is in the house. Good morning, John. Michael, it is great to see you, our in-house baritone. You're going to love today's weird song, Michael, because it features 5 different octaves. How many singers do we know that can sing 5 octaves when most trained voices can only sing around 3? You have to guess who we're talking about. Sun is shining in Minnesota. This is so great to hear. Let's see who else is here. Oh, Stephanie, that is such a sweet thought for everyone. Thank you so very much for that. Marcus. Marcus brought us to the beach this morning. How nice. I hear we have a beach here in Puerto Vallarta. Those of us that are workaholics think it's just fake news. We're always working. Um, you know what I can tell you about that song, Renee? I don't know if you've heard Zoe Lewis. Zoe Lewis is our amazing storyteller, a singer, multi instrumentalist friend that lives in Provincetown, and she comes and performs here in town seasonally. And when I heard the song, I can totally imagine Zoe singing that, and all the people in the house sort of singing the choruses along. So I am really happy that you guys enjoyed the song. Um, let's see. Sylvie's in Gringo Gulch. Sylvie, we're gonna walk today, and I have to tell you guys, Sylvie, I'm not stealing walks from Sylvie. Sylvie is the walking tour guide that you have to talk to in this town. Sylvie does a lot of walking tours around the city, and I know she keeps a schedule somewhere. So Sylvie, let us know if you're walking with your Loca group or with anyone that wants to walk with you. Let us know, because a lot of people sometimes ask, well, these are great walks. Who can I walk with? So Sylvie, there you go. Take it away. Let's see who else is here. Oh, well, everybody's here. This is so wonderful. Hello, Alain. I'm a dear friend from Canada. It's great to see you. Brownies? No, no, but I have to report, Michael, since you bring up the subject, that I have all the ingredients ready to make brownies happen for the holiday season. And that makes me so very happy, because that means I'm going to sleep well. Um, we have lots of news to cover today. Um, is the new kid on the block sporting a man bun? Yes. And the man bun should have gone to his crotch, because his crotch is as flat as a tire. So, well, never mind. You'll get to see him in a second. Good heavens. Let's see. So many stupid ways. Great video. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. There you go. Sylvie, thank you so very much for that. Sylvie, I bow in her general direction. She's one of the nicest human beings and peoples here in Puerto Vallarta, and she does all these walking things and experiences and adventures, and she has one just for women. So women, if you feel empowered and you want to be doing fun things with one another, Sylvie is a person to talk to. Anyhow, 156 of us are here and ready to look at the news. We have quite a bit of things to look at, and I want to let you know in advance, today's walking tour is over 20 minutes long. So grab yourself a coffee, get yourself comfortable, and we'll move right along, but not without acknowledging Kimberly, who has very nicely put a Q in front of her question. This helps us understand that these are important questions. What are some of my favorite holiday foods? Wow. Well, it's not a food, but I'm a sucker for eggnog. I have eggnog all over my face. What else do I like? I like foods that I can share with friends. I have very little things that I don't enjoy eating. In Mexico, of course, for Christmas, we do turkey. So I love turkey. And here's another one of Sylvie's websites. Yes, I do want to plug that, because Sylvie is one of our local ambassadors, and it is so nice to live in a city where what? He turns pink at night? And he has a nickname already, Man Bun Manny? Oh my God. Okay, so we have a ways to go before we get to the walking tour. So I might as well get started with the news so that we can continue on with the rest of the broadcast. What is the name of the Mexican eggnog? It's called rompope, but you have to roll your R. You cannot say rompope. You have to go rompope. So there you go. Let's just do news. I'm getting all giddy already. Boom. Governor Alfaro is not completely missing in action. In fact, he's probably really busy doing other things. But yesterday he had a meeting with all the mayors of all the states, and he once again pleaded to the mayors not to let our guard down in terms of following and ensuring that the proper guidelines are followed wherever it is necessary. And he did showcase three specific regions in the state. As you know, we are now looking at. Let me get myself out of the way. Hold on just a second. Whoop. There you go. No, that's not good either. Okay, I'm gonna go up here for a second. He made a short video announcement on Facebook where he was meeting with all the mayors of all the different regions. As you know, the state of Jalisco is now monitoring the regions independently just to see how things are going in each particular region of the state. And he indicated that the North region, the Altos Norte region, and the Altos Sur region, which are here, let me click, are here, here, and here, are the ones that have the highest hospital occupation in the state. So he was very specific that while the entire state needs to remain vigilant with all the guidelines and make sure that people and businesses follow them, he did say if those particular three regions do not get their act together in terms of reinforcing all the guidelines, we are going to be in a situation in which if things get worse, the government will be to blame. And of course, Governor Alfaro does not want that to be the case. If you're wondering, where are we? We are down here in the yellow. We are in the Costa Sierra Occidental. We are a conglomerate of several municipalities, this being Puerto Vallarta right over here. And you can see that hospital occupation in Puerto Vallarta is at 12.7% right now. So it's fairly low compared to the rest of the state. All that being said, let me come back to where I belong. The newspapers remind us that nightlife in Puerto Vallarta can only occur until 2 a.m. in the morning. Because of the guidelines that we're following right now. All nightclubs and bars have to close at 2 a.m. in the morning. They have to restrict their capacity to 50% as maximum and avoid groups of more than 6 people. I'm sorry, that is so funny. I don't go to bars, I don't go to the nightlife, but I look at them from afar. And the official guideline, get this, cluster, is no groups of more than 6 people and guaranteeing that people are 1.5 meters distant from one another at the clubs, at the venues. I'm sorry, that's so funny because it's clear to me that nothing is happening. Well, anyway, I'm just sharing the news. I'm not going to comment today because we have all kinds of wonderful things to share in a little while. Another thing that was reminded by local media is that fireworks are not allowed. Fireworks are not allowed this year because of the pandemic. So if you hear someone that is burning them, blowing them, otherwise engaging with them or selling them, this is something that that we need to report. We need to report to the authorities. And I am glad that Heather is cracking at the news about the bars because, I mean, hello. It is historic. See, I'm going to make myself cough. Hang on for just a second. There you go. Let's see, what else do we have? We have a reminder from the Secretary of Health in Mexico that the pandemic is not going to end with the vaccine. We talked about this yesterday. And it is important to know that. First of all, all the vaccination is going to happen in a staggered way, as we explained yesterday. Stage 1 begins with health personnel, and it starts at the end of this month and continues till February 2021. Stage 2 is health personnel and people over 60, and that's February to April, and so forth and so on. You're going to have all the bookmarks for all this information so that you can have it at your disposal, and that way we know exactly what's going on. But the bottom line is that this vaccine is not going to be a flip of a switch that is going to be pushed and all of a sudden, boom, we're free of problems. No. So Brace yourselves. Let us find sense of humor. Let us find camaraderie, empathy, love, understanding, and acceptance from whoever and whatever we can. Pick a new hobby. I don't know. Let us do something. But don't go to the bars. Seriously. Let me take a quick look at your comments before we move on with the program. Let's see. We've talked about the Mexican eggnog. Da, 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 da. How is Nayarit? How is Nayarit? Asks Arlene. Well, Nayarit, I assume Nayarit is fine. I don't have a lot of details about Nayarit because this is Puerto Vallarta. I know Nayarit is right over the border. But we don't have any specific new information about Nayarit. Nayarit is in the orange this week, and we know what the orange means. But the bottom line, Arlene, for anybody, and good morning to you too, of course. Good morning, says Arlene. Good morning back. Arlene, the federal guidelines are very, very basic. Oh, why is that coming up on my screen? Go away. The federal guidelines are very simple. Hold on. Let me quit this. That just opened on its own. Sorry about that. The federal guidelines, Arlene, are very simple. Wear a face mask, keep a safe distance, stay home, and wash your hands frequently. That is how Nayarit is. That is how the rest of the country is. That is how Mexico is. So there you have it. Let's see. Bam, ba-dim, bam, 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 bam. I love, thank you. See, that is beautifully written sarcasm. Thank you, Clay, because of course COVID doesn't go out until 3 o'clock in the morning. How does that work? Massive tables? No, Lorraine, this has to do, if you're asking about the distancing things that I talked about in the bars, no, this has nothing to do with sitting down. It has something to do with the fact that if you are in a bar and you've found a person that you'd like to frolic with or you'd like to express your love and desire to, you can't, you see, because you're supposed to be a meter and a half away. So if you think you're going to go to the bar to do some slow dancing and stuff like that, you're not supposed to do that. If you're going to play touchy-feely with someone, you're not supposed to do that. Let's see. You mean your neighborhood didn't get the memo, Stephanie? Well, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, and it's time to call reglamentos. Let's see. Oh, I am caught up with you. So let us continue with the weather. Can you explain to me why some mornings I wake up really hyper and some mornings I don't? I can't. But being a person that suffers from depression, I can tell you that I have some cloudy days and I have some sunny days. That's for sure. And speaking of cloudy and sunny, today it is 26 degrees Celsius, feels like 28. Fahrenheit, it's 79 degrees right now. Humidity is at 73%. And the weather forecast for today is going to be humid through the day. High temperature of 29, low temperature of 20. Tomorrow will be humid and partly cloudy through the day. High temperature of 28, low temperature of 19. And Friday, it will also be humid through the day. High temperature of 29, low temperature of 17. So it looks like the weekend is going to be a little bit cooler than the week has been. I know that many of us have been appreciating this wonderful cold weather. Certainly at night, I'm sleeping better this time of year than other times of the year. Moving into leisurely stuff. Yesterday, somebody asked about paying property taxes online, and one of you viewers was kind enough to share the link so that you don't have to go to the bank and pay your taxes if you have property taxes to pay. There is a website at here in the municipality of Puerto Vallarta where you can pay your taxes online. I also want to let you know that with the new designation of Pueblo Mágico, or magical town, that went to the town of Ajijic, the state of Jalisco, our state, is now pushing once more all their promotion online to attract tourism to all the different or magical towns in our state. I wonder how many of them you know. I'm going to mention them so that you know which ones they are. Ajijic, Lagos de Moreno, Mascota, Mazamitla, San Sebastián del Oeste, Talpa de Allende, Tapalpa, Tequila, and Tlaquepaque. Those are the 9 magic towns that we have here in Puerto Vallarta. Not in Puerto Vallarta, in the state of Jalisco. And I've been to several of them. And of course, right now, thinking about traveling is something that I'm not thinking about. At least not unless it's a place that is really, really lonely and deserted and full of no one. But I want you to know that at least the state is doing whatever it can to inspire other people to come and visit our beautiful towns. Let me take a quick look at your comments before we move into the silly song of the day. Let's see. Pamela asks, can I be touchy-feely with someone I know? Well, you don't want to make me jealous, Pamela, but you can be touchy-feely with whomever you love and trust. And it's a personal choice. I know that I am very touchy-feely with some of my friends. Of course, I am not with them 24/7, but then again, they're not with me 24/7. So, yeah, I think it's a mutual agreement, and that's why I treasure my close friends so much and the people that I surround myself with on a regular basis. Now, if you're suggesting, can I play touchy-feely with my lover or my boyfriend or my girlfriend at the bars, I can tell you what my opinion of that is. If we behave in a certain way, you know that you are with someone you trust. But if somebody walks by and sees you doing that, they might think, well, it's okay to do that. So do you really want to be the example of something that is probably not a good idea in public right now? It's a personal choice. Or the flip side of that, somebody might look at you and somebody might just confront you and say, hey, buddy, what are you doing necking if you're supposed to be, distancing ourselves? Along those lines, yesterday when I was walking around town, and I think I mentioned that once or twice in the broadcast, it is so tempting to shame people. It is very, very, very tempting to walk up to people and say, hey, you're not wearing a face mask, asshole. But we can't do that. It's not right. It is unfortunate that people are not following the guidelines. But, I don't know that it is entirely kosher for us to go around and telling people what they're supposed to do or not. And that's just my own take. Let's see what else we have here. No. How safe is it to drive around to Pueblos Mágicos in a private car? I think it's perfectly safe, Mushi. I think it's perfectly, perfectly safe. In fact, that's the way I love to go anywhere. I'm still not feeling very comfortable about public buses and other forms of mass transportation. So I think it's a great way to get there and come back. Let's see what is going on. Sylvie mentions that they recently reinstated Mezcaltitan in Nayarit. Yes, the Venice of Mexico. I've always been really curious to visit that town, although somebody told me that it is smelly. I don't know if that's true or not, but if anybody has been to Mezcaltitan in the recent past, I would love to hear your comments about it. Let's say, I think it's best to say whatever rule applies in Canada or the States applies here. COVID is global. I am going to politely disagree with you, Sylvie, because it is my perception, and I could be wrong. It is my perception that people are being more careful here than north of the border. If I am wrong there, I apologize. But I think it's best to say, and again, this is my own opinion, I don't mean any disrespect, I think it's best to say that if you're in Rome, you do what the Romans do. And I appreciate the fact that this cluster wants to be informed about what's going on in Mexico. And again, not to sound like a broken record, in Mexico, friends, we wear face masks outside. We keep safe distance. We stay home. if we don't have to be anywhere, and we wash our hands frequently. So when I get these kinds of questions about, what's the face mask policy in Nayarit, or what is the face mask policy here and there and everywhere, I appreciate the fact that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get to that comment in a second, Pat. I appreciate the fact that people want to know, they want to feel comfortable, they want to be on vacation, or they want to, I want to be walking around the city without wearing a face mask, but, it is what it is. If we can shame those who won't wear face masks, is it okay to use bear spray? Oh, honey, it's like when I'm walking around with my microphone, every now and then I will say comments like, well, I'm going to walk this way because I'm walking next to someone who's not wearing a face mask. Let's not even go there. Let us continue with the show because it's already 10:56 and we have a 24-minute walking tour to go through. And the next thing that I want to talk to you about is our song of the day. Our silly song of the day is performed by this exotic looking creature whom I love and adore. Her name is Zoila Augusta Emperatriz Chavarri del Castillo, and you know her as Yma Sumac. She was born in 1922 in Lima, Peru. She died in 2008 in Los Angeles. She is successful. She was a very successful international singer, and her success was based on her extreme vocal range of 5 octaves, as I mentioned before. Typically, trained singers have about 3. And she was one of the most famous exponents of exotica music during the 1950s. What is exotica music? Well, it's the music, it's a musical genre that was very popular with Americans who came of age during World War II. And it is a combination of the South Pacific and the Orient with some Latin rhythms thrown into the mix. And I love this music because this music also appeared when hi-fi records and hi-fi stereo sound became available as a technology. So her albums are absolutely funny. There is no song by Yma Sumac that is not weird and fabulous. Her music is great for listening to in the car or cleaning the house or anything you want. And I'm going to mention one specific song of hers, which is called Malambo No. 1. And in Malambo No. 1, she sings very funny, strange lyrics in Quechua, which is the language of the Inca people. And the reason I am mentioning Malambo No. 1, first of all, I'm going to give you the YouTube link for the song. But then it is really funny to watch this other video that I'm going to share with you from RuPaul's Drag Race. Even if you don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race, please know that one of the challenges that the drag queens have to go through on every issue is to lip sync to music. So my homework assignment, should you wish to accept it, is listen to Malambo No. 1 in its entirety. And, shake your shimmy while you're doing it, or swipe the floor, or do something in the house because you're going to love the music. It's going to wake you up almost as good as a cup of coffee. But then go watch these wonderful performers, these amazing drag queens trying to be funny and lip sync to this music, and you are going to die of laughter. The end. Well, the end of the strange song. Susan asks, what's that number you call again? My neighbors is having a hug party. Oh, that you're being facetious, you silly. Eccentric works too for Yma Sumac. This is wonderful. What else do we have? Great international star. Okay, I think we're caught up. And if I'm not getting to all your comments, it's because I'm worried about the time. And Susan, just in case you're not being facetious, I'm going to very quickly throw this number here. It is an important number to have. Hold on just a second. If you have any problems with businesses or people not following the rules, this is the number that we call. Okay, so now it's time to go for a walk. And I want you to know that this, again, is a little bit over 20 minutes. I will come back to you after the walk. But let us go in search of the new kid on the block. Hasta pronto. Okay. Let me set up my camera properly. Hold on. That's more like it. Okay. So that was a quick and dirty through Cinco de Diciembre. As I promised, I took my Uber into town because I wanted to come into the Malecón today to take a look at the new kid on the block. You may or may not know this, but there is a new Malecon Sculpture that has just been installed. I don't even know if there has been a ceremony for it, but we're gonna take a look at what's going on the Malecón just to see what happens. Feel free to enjoy the view as we walk along. I haven't been on the Malecón in months. I certainly haven't walked here since the pandemic started. And it's nice to see that the vendors are back selling their wares. We're gonna see what's going on. I'm going to imagine that most of you already know this, but one of the big prides of our city is all these Malecon sculptures that have been installed through the years, some of them more modern than others. And although I have a fair idea of where the new sculpture is located, I decided to start the Malecón from the beginning. I got off the Uber at Hotel Rosita. Oh wow, check it out. The Papantla Flyers are about to do their thing. They're sitting around. Note to self, do some research about the Papantla Flyers because I told you that I would. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to see them, maybe not.
Vamos para atrás, ahí viene el cookie.
And I think we're going to miss the Papantla flyers today. We're going to move forward. And we're going to go looking for this new sculpture. But I'm going to go walk closely as we walk past some of the other sculptures here on the Malecon. Here is the Rock Eater. Probably the most, what I enjoy the most doing this walk right now is that I see the vendors out. I don't know exactly what procedure these vendors go through to be allowed. And I don't know why this one might say do not take photos. Maybe they don't want their ideas to be copied. But, you know, there are all these paintings that you can buy and artwork and so forth and so on. I'm now walking on the bicycle lane. I'm gonna move over so that I don't get run over. And right in front of me is the tourism information booth. It's nice to see that they're here to answer questions. Buenas tardes.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Municipal tourism, it's good to see that they are out and about. Water's really tranquil today. Members of the tourism police standing in front of me. They're probably having their share of work enforcing things. But check it out. It's nice to see that there is some information in English. Buenas tardes. Practice social distancing. See? In English. This is sponsored by the Association of Businesses, Bars, and Restaurants here at the Malecon. How nice of them to put together some information for our English-speaking friends. Oh, I think I hear the Papantla business going on. Yes, they've started their ceremony. I hope to catch that ceremony at some point. Today is not going to be the day in which we're going to do it. I want to take a look at the new sculpture. The new sculpture I have seen in photographs. You may or may not know that it has been installed. But I want to go find out what it looks like. Check this out. One of the really fun things about our public sculptures is that it is a lot of fun to interact with them, and they're very popular among our tourists who love to take photographs of one another. Buenas tardes.
I love saying buenas tardes to people, by the way, because some people don't know how to answer and they look at you funny. The cerveceria is gone with me. I walked by it, and either they're remodeling or something's going on there.
Oh no, she's not. Oh yes, she is. Oh, she's just posing. I thought she was going to go climb. More information about face masks. How nice to see that the city is proactive, at least in disseminating information about how we should be behaving. Ah, I see it. I see the new kid on the block. It's right behind these palm trees. That guy that just walked by, I almost felt like shaming him for not wearing his face mask properly. But again, we need to be kind to people and simply choose to stay away from them if they seem to be taking controversial decisions about their carry-on. And look at that. Here it is. Nice butt. Ooh, it's very sexy. It's a big male sculpture. Now, I read somewhere that the name of this, oh my god, it's ginormous. I read somewhere that the name of the sculpture is Rain. I am not entirely certain of that fact, but there he is. Let me stretch my pole so that I can get closer to the sculpture. There you go. Now take a look at that. And there was the new sculpture. I must say, it's a little bit disappointing that he's looking up. So we have no idea what the expression on his face is. Let's see what he looks like from afar. And there he is. Oh, from afar you can kind of see his expression, but not quite clearly. Very nice, and I dare say very sexy. Now check this out. Here are other kinds of sculptures that you can enjoy. There are people, locals primarily, that obtain permission to create these rock sculptures down on the water, and these are always changed, always different. They work for tips, of course. There you go. Another one. This is one of my favorites, and it was just sent for maintenance. Let's stretch the pole again, just to get close to it. Not bad, not bad. And now we come to one of our most popular sculptures, the seahorse, which has become the symbol of Puerto Vallarta. There's always people taking their photographs next to it. And of course, with the new Puerto Vallarta letters, people take turns to pose. And it's nice to see how other tourists wait in an orderly fashion for their turn. The Los Arcos Amphitheater looks good these days. And it's nice to see that this area has been open to the public. This was closed for a long time. We were not allowed to get close to this point. I'm not entirely sure if they're allowing performers to come back yet. Safe distancing is very important to the city. But we're going to walk right past it. Gracias. Let me stop for a second and illustrate something. This extension of the Malecon is where the food vendors were allowed to set shop before the pandemic. And it is nice to see that they're being allowed to return. Again, I see the government taking small steps to allow for life to come back to a certain sense of normalcy. And here we have a living sculpture, and because I'm going to stop and film him, I'm going to find a way to give him a tip because it's only fair.
there's lots of dolls and stuff. Yeah, I just thought about it first one. Yeah, I go to pick.
Don Mariachi.
Revolucionario Emiliano Zapata.
Uy,
¡Que viva México!
eso es todo. No me quiero imaginar cómo ha de estar sudando.
Gracias, amigo.
Oiga,
Un poco.
¿y si le dan ganas de ir al baño, qué hace?
No, pues voy al baño. No aguanto.
Muchísimas gracias, jefe.
A usted, amigo.
Que tenga,
Bienvenido, Vallarta.
que tenga un buen día.
Igualmente.
I just asked him, what does he do if he has to go to the bathroom? I said, what do you do if you have to go to the bathroom? And he said, well, I go to the bathroom. But think about how sweaty that production must be. Anyhow, we're going to continue all the way to the pedestrian bridge on the Isla Rio Cuale, where we're going to take a break from this walking tour, and we're going to start another one. But at least we are happy. Oh, this spot right here is where the Lorena Herrera sculpture used to be. This was a sculpture that was placed here for professional golfer Lorena Herrera, but it is now gone. We don't know where it went or what happened to it. It was ugly, so no hard feelings. Anyhow, we're going to continue all the way to the Rio Cuale pedestrian bridge, where we're going to take in the view, and then we're going to take a break from this walking tour, and we're going to start another one. Where will we go? It's a mystery. But at least we got a chance to say hello to the new sculpture, see it in person for the first time. I'm going to try to dig up some more information about it so we can be able to talk about it with some knowledge as to who the artist was or its origin. Oh, and check it out. I wonder if this is part of Natasha Moragas' tile project, because there are new tiles coming in on this side of the Malecón. This is beautiful. Okay, well, we are now standing in the middle of the pedestrian bridge here at the Isla Rio Cuale. As you can see, it's a quiet day. A few people out, not that many. It feels comfortable. Yes, you will see people without face masks, as I'm going to remove mine just to be able to say goodbye. You will see people without face masks, but I can tell you there's plenty of room for everyone. My best wish for everybody is that you will continue to follow the safety guidelines, and I hope you enjoyed this walking tour. I'm going to sign off, and I will see you again sometime soon for the next one. Have a good one.
Yay! That was our walking tour that I took yesterday. I loved seeing your comments fly by. I love the fact that there are connections between you and us and the destination. And I do say us because, for better or worse, when you live here and you work, you get busy. You forget to take time for yourself to enjoy the surroundings. But now that the weather is better, it is easier to go out there. And yes, I know there are people out there without a mask, but there are also a lot of people with masks. Somebody commented something along the lines of the Malecon not having enough people. I think it was Jorge. Actually, I might say, it is nice to enjoy the Malecon on an average day because this is a comfortable level of activity at the Malecon. I like that very much. I will let you know that last night when I came home, I did some research, and yes, indeed, the sculpture is called Lluvia, and it is the work of a Mexican sculptor called Francisco Javier Navarro Ruiz, and his artist name is Jovian. I'm not entirely sure of what gallery represents him or what the connection is or how he ended up on the Malecon, but I was very, very happy to see that that he was there. Let me take a look at your final comments and questions. I can't believe that there's still 138 of you here, and you make me feel so very happy and connected because you enjoyed what we do. Let's see questions that may be here. Kimberly asks, is the name of the new statue called Rain? If so, why isn't the statue a female? I believe, Kimberly, you'd have to ask the author, because ultimately the author is the person that could answer that question for you. Let's see, what else do we have? What size of t-shirt do I wear? Oh, I wear extra large because I like to be comfortable wherever I go. Jeannie asks, what do you use for recording equipment? I am using an Insta360 1X camera. It's a small 360-degree camera. It is very convenient because I can then decide how I want to focus, where I want to focus the footage once I'm doing the editing. And Heather Wilson mentions the name of the gallery. I'm glad she did. And let's see, what else do we have? Sea urchin sculptures look like COVID-19. Well, I'm sure that the person behind that sculpture would not appreciate that, but you're absolutely right. Or maybe she would. I know the artist that did those sea urchins. Anyhow, I enjoyed reading through your comments. I enjoyed being here drinking coffee while you were commenting, and I tried to acknowledge as many of your comments and questions as I could. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves. It is 11:28. Only once or twice before have we had such a long broadcast, but that's just the way it turned out. When you go out walking around the Malecon, you don't want to miss a thing because it's such a beautiful walk. I remember when I was still working at Harvard and I was getting ready to come down here, there was a webcam over a burger place on the Malecon that I believe is still there. And the camera would point at a static place on the Malecon, and I would look at it from my desk in the snow in Boston. I would say, I'm going to be living there in just a few weeks. And one of the first things that I did when I came to Puerto Vallarta is I walked down to the Malecon and I stood on the field of view of the camera and I looked at it for the longest time. And I thought to myself, if you're looking at me looking at you and you're thinking of moving down here, give it a go. You're probably going to like it. And for me, it's almost 19 years since I arrived, and I still, how funny. Ramona just asked, how long have you lived here? I arrived here on December 27, 2001. So for me, Christmas and New Year's have absolutely no meaning or very little meaning. For me, the big celebration is December 17. And I remember it was less than a week before I got a chance to walk down to the Malecon and stand in front of that webcam. And I looked at it and I said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you for sticking around. I want to thank you for choosing to spend an hour with us this morning. All 128 of you that are still here. It is always a pleasure to see you and to share our town with you and to find ways so that we can connect with our surroundings and with this place that we call home. If you found something fun, if you enjoyed the broadcast, come back. We always try to come up with interesting, wonderful things to share, because the beautiful thing about Puerto Vallarta is that we never run out of amazing people, amazing places, amazing things, and amazing stories to uncover together. Between now and the next time we get together, have a super day. Stay happy, stay calm, stay face masked, and stay in touch. Have a great day.